Hey, everybody. I'm Greg Hamby, your favorite lender. So I am a mortgage broker and correspondent lender. I can do loans nationwide, minus New York. So all the country that counts. Sorry. And we focus on veterans and VA loans. I am going to introduce the team here. We are in Houston, Texas. This is the epicenter, the test center of where all this started. And we're building a whole team, a nationwide network, but in every city, a team of everybody important. And with us today, we've got AK representing the real estate industry, and we have Jackie representing the insurance industry, which are between lending, real estate, and insurance are the most vital roles you need when you're buying a home. So Jackie, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, why it's best to work with you. Anyway, I'll just let you take it from there.
So my name is Jacqueline Torrez with the Z. I am a property and casualty insurance broker. In English, what that means is that I can insure any property residentially and commercially, which is the property side. Casualty, meaning your vehicles, whether that's residential, commercial. I do focus even more so now on the commercial side for real estate and for the casualty side. But residential, I know like the back of my hands. As a brokerage, what I do is I shop the market to see who's the most competitive and the most compatible for you in the home buying process and as your renewals come. So what I do is I take a look at your insurance portfolio, come up with an insurance solution for you, and help you guide you as time comes with the renewals.
And you can help them with their auto and personal property and everything else.
Yes.
Correct?
So for an insurance portfolio, that typically consists of your auto, home. Doesn't have to be the same carrier as long as it's in-house with us, right? And other things that you may have, other toys. As you get along the way, now you can buy the RV that you couldn't buy at closing. Now you added that car you wanted to buy that you can buy after closing. That's something I can definitely help with.
Good
Absolutely.
point. And not to cut you off, after closing.
After closing.
One thing I wanted to point out that I left out that is important is I am also a veteran. I was a Marine. Jackie?
Marine Corps.
Okay, AK.
Air Force. That's all that matters.
I was a percussionist. That's it. They probably had more cooler roles than me.
Okay, cool. Hey, everybody. My name is akbabers, Mr. Get Your Keys. I am a Houston area realtor and a veteran, an Air Force veteran, that is. I help veterans of all kinds get into homeownership. You know, homeownership is the cornerstone of building wealth in America. So one thing that I want to do is help my fellow veterans when they get out to realize that, we can get one step closer to, put it this way. I want to make sure that that you know that you can create wealth through homeownership, because all the time your disability checks ain't going to be able to create no wealth. So you want to try to create equity. You want to try to create something that you can pass on to your kids as legacy. So homeownership is a perfect way to legacy wealth.
Yes, and what I'd like to add on into building the wealth, as insurance comes, people are like, oh, well, now I'm not making, may I be able to make some or more? Yes, you can. As time goes, that's why it's good to have a broker. It's good to have a real estate agent who knows the market and knows what can best help fit you and your family for your needs and how you want to grow your book.
Yes. Yeah. So some of the things that I want to elaborate on is we are not just about lending real estate insurance. We pull together an entire team to help you transition, to buy your home, to get into the community. We are also building a local community. So what that means is within our team, besides what's here, we also have title companies, home inspectors, everybody along the way, a handyman that might need to help get the home up to speed. We are also, just like tonight is a perfect example, VALOR has a local mixer that's for veterans and veteran business owners. We are building a community to help one another, to provide a great service at a good price. And if you don't live up to the expectation, you won't continue to be part of the group. But that includes everybody that you might need that you do business with, as a homeowner or not, a landscaper, a roofer, heating and air, an electrician, a plumber, but also like a CPA, somebody to help you with your taxes, attorneys. And we're building this locally, but we're also doing it in other cities as we expand around the country. and it's all to help veterans. And it's not just for veterans. We are veterans. That's been our primary focus. We are including what we call community heroes, which would be law enforcement, fire, first responders, and teachers. That's right. Nurses, right? So they're all included. However, since we do so many VA loans, and that's our specialty, we do all types of loans. But, you can't get that kind of loan unless you're a veteran. There's a strong likelihood that you're a veteran and a cop, right? Or a veteran and a nurse. I'm working with one right now. She actually works for the VA hospital.
Cool.
And she's a veteran. She was a Coast Guard, right? So, but we're here to help. You can be part of the community if you fit into that. You don't have to be a veteran. I just wanted to mention that. You guys have anything to add?
Yes, we love helping everyday people. So yes, of course, like our focus can be veterans, because we know what it's like, but we are everyday people too before we became veterans. And even still, we still are to this day. And come and ask us questions in person. Come see us at these events that you'll see around the greater Houston area, because maybe you may not be able to make one week because of something coming up, but you can make the next one, right? Come talk to us in person and have a conversation with us, because we're definitely here to help you.
Yep. Cool. Guys, we are here to help. Like she mentioned before, ask a question. That's where a lot of people get feared. On the other side of, how do I want to say this? Questions will help you get through your fear. So if you have a question about the process, you're kind of afraid to step out there, get a little farther. Like she mentioned, we're here to help. You can come reach out to us personally, by phone, by text message, whatever it is. Just come and ask a question so that we can help you out and get you.
What do they always say? There's no stupid question, right? So maybe one that you didn't ask. If you don't know, feel free to ask, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people getting disability that don't know about all the benefits, right?
Yep.
Right.
You're getting a check every week.
That's right.
Not even knowing.
Right. A quiet mouth doesn't get fed. So for sure, 100%, I do believe asking and, getting with us. And we all have our own experiences. You may think, oh, well, this is something that I don't think it can happen. We'll help make it happen. At the end of the day, it's to help you, for your growth and for your family. Because this is what we do. This is what we do every day. And we chose to do this, to be a part of the process with you, to guide you in steps like this, right? Everybody's buying a home for the first time or buying their first investment property for the first time. Nobody knows how insurance works 100% or how property works or lending works 100%. That's why it's good to have us and ask us the questions. We are more than happy to answer them.
Yeah. And just because, yeah. So like an investment property, you can technically put down 15%, right? But a lot of lenders require 20, and even the ones who don't, I priced out some investment loans just 2 days ago. The rates are horrible. The highest rate on the rate sheet cost 4.25% or more at 15% down. First of all, it's a terrible rate that you wouldn't pay that kind of money to get. Secondly, for less than another percentage, you can put 20% down and get a really good rate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can put 15% down technically, but it's not going to come out that way. And I would advise you not to do it. That's my job, right? So
you tell them they have more options than just waiting till the interest rate go down.
Lots of options. And with streamlined refis and things like that, rates will be coming down quick. You should buy now before it's a buying frenzy. And you're in the home 6 months, we can do a streamlined refi without an appraisal, without requalifying, without having to fight against 20 other people trying to buy that house right now. And then you take advantage of probably a 5% interest rate. You might get in at 7.5. In 6 months from now, we can drop your rate, drop your payment, probably $300 or more. You're going to skip a month's worth of payment. So on average, if you're at a $380,000 house, say, which is kind of a typical closing right now in our area, and you skip a payment, and maybe you, for that streamlined refi, you still had a small amount of closing costs you had to come out of pocket with, say it's $3,000. Well, you just didn't pay $3,500 in your mortgage. And now your new mortgage is, say, going to be $2,800, and you took your payment you would have made and you got into the lower rate.
Yeah. It's a lot of options. Yeah. I have an insurance question.
Absolutely. Please ask.
I guess I don't have a question. I just want some clarity for the people.
Why is my premium going up so much?
Let that be the second one. What do you offer? Because when these buyers that go out to look for a house, last thing they think about is insurance.
Correct.
So what is your role in the insurance process?
So
I mean, in the home buying process. I'm sorry.
No, it's a good. So it's a great question. So what my role is typically where I kick in is when you're under contract. The best time to get the insurance is in your option period. So as you may or may not know, your option period is when, the seller has accepted the buyer's, terms, and you guys are under contract, and now you're starting to look at the insurance and such like that. It's best to get it in the option period, and I'll explain that in a bit. But my role is to shop the market and see who's the most competitive, who's the most compatible for the buyer in the home buying process. Just because you may have a carrier for your auto, that doesn't mean that they're going to rate your home the same. Every insurance company has their own preferences of who they want in their book of business. So for example, I have a carrier that they are not accepting any homes in Harris County or Dallas County areas, greater areas, if the roof is older than 2 years old.
Wow.
Yes. And so meaning it's they either want new construction or they want a brand new roof.
Yeah.
Now that's okay. And that's not forever, just for periods of times. If just a carrier has too much risk in an area, they will require certain things like that. So what my job is, they're thinking, I'll just call them. But if they're on the phone with the carrier they have for their auto and then they find out, I'm sorry, well, I just got all your information and now that I find out the roof is older than 2 years old, I'm sorry, you just wasted about 35 minutes of your time. Instead of the buyer calling each carrier one by one, they have me shop around to do the work for them.
Right?
Yeah, so I have over 150 standard carriers that we can work with.
I have over 200 lenders. Same thing, folks. You go to a broker, we shop for you. It's by far the best deal. And we know where to go based on your situation. One lender doesn't fit all.
Yes.
One insurance carrier doesn't fit all.
And that's important. So you call in your Allstates and your State Farms and you get on the phone with a pay by the hour employee, his job is to take in your information.
Yeah.
So he's not telling you if that's qualified or not, but the insurance people that I work with, I like to try to get y'all involved while we're going to look for houses because the taxes could affect the monthly payment.
Exactly.
And the insurance.
Insurance could affect the monthly payment.
Exactly.
Being in a place like Houston, if you've been on the south side of Houston, you could easily be on South Houston, you think you got one thing and you get in Pearland, you get a whole nother now you can't even afford to buy a house.
Exactly, 100%.
Because of the insurance and taxes. So be smart and understand what's the role of a broker and what's the role and how do those people that worked at the big box insurance companies, they work 9 to 5. This young lady ain't going to bed till she gets your answer at the end of the night. And that could be 8, 9 o'clock at night sometime. Because I'm the one that calling you, right?
Yep. And that is me too. If I've already explained it on the phone with let's say the wife takes care of it, husband's at home or vice versa, whatever the case may be, I'm happy to go over it all over again because the spouse may pick up something that the other one didn't. And just like how you said, it happens all the time. You can afford a house on one side of the south side and then it could be Pearland. Nope, you can't even afford it anymore. And I always get with the lender and I always confirm, not just DTI, but hey, what is it looking like? What is this? What is the number that you need it at? Of course, we want the lowest, but we also don't want to push it at the same time. And realistically, I want to let you know while you're in the option period under contract, where, hey, I know you really like this home, but if insurance is already looking expensive like this right now, imagine renewal. And we're already doing everything we can to try to get this right now.
Just to get qualified.
Yeah,
right?
just to get you qualified and just
and if they're already a little uneasy about the payment, even if they do qualify, and you think, wow, the premium might really go up next year, and I know your taxes are going up next year.
So here's another thing as a realtor that I see from your side, not from your side, but people being in new construction and 1 year the taxes is next year's period. Now their payment.
Yeah, because they pay next to nothing in taxes on new construction because the builder wasn't paying it.
Well, but they also I believe due to lack of the realtor or the lender letting them know that.
I always let them know, but I hardly ever get new construction because builders, lenders, right?
Oh, yeah, builders.
Builders, lenders, right.
You know how that goes.
So speak to that. Speak to
so
that for a minute.
The builder has so much
New
construction, like a brand new home.
Perry,
the big home builders, right? Lennar, D.R. Horton. They own their own mortgage company, and they play this game with the numbers that, there's so much money built into the house, right? Yeah. They're like, we're going to give you $10,000 in free upgrades, or we're going to pay your closing costs. you have to use our mortgage company. You have to use our title company. And they can do that because you could not use it and they'll take the money away. But they can give the money because they're the seller. Like sellers can contribute whatever, but they have probably at least $100,000 of profit built in that house, right? So to give away 10 grand is nothing. And then they make money on the fees and the rate with the mortgage. And then they make money on the fees and the premiums through the title company. So they're getting their money.
So guys, it is a complicated process overall, but I think it's not a daunting process. With the right team members and people in your corner, we can navigate through all these obstacles. We can figure out exactly what you need. We can clean away all the BS and make sure you have a nice, pretty product that you love, like, and understand that you're going into for the next, I wouldn't even say 30 years. Gonna scare people away.
Yeah.
It's your next home.
Yeah. Most people keep a home, stay in a home, or refinance at least every 7 years.
Yeah.
And I'd say it's probably more like every 3 to 5. But anyway, one thing I want to cover is Jackie is bilingual. She speaks Spanish as well. And I have an amazing Spanish-speaking team, an incredible loan officer who's in leadership with my mortgage companies. So we got you guys covered. We're here to help. We are VALOR, which stands for Veterans Alliance of Lending and Real Estate, just so you know. Thanks, guys.
Yes.
Thank you, Greg.